My name is Sushant Mysorekar, and today I'm going to give a topic on memory as an asset or liability. Now, before selecting this topic, I had a lot of things in mind as to why people think it's asset or liability. It cannot be a both, either asset or a liability. So we need to understand financial terms. We all deal day in and day out in financial knowledge, financial terms, and we deliver take in and take out financial aspects. Now, prior to this, I just would like to introduce myself. I run an organization named as BrainRhyme. We are into this field since last 12 years and have catered to schools, colleges, corporates, CEOs, and lots of nearly over 5 to 6 universities. So here I have been dealt with students, I have dealt with professors, I have dealt with doctors, I have dealt with engineers, I have dealt with every facet of educational prime facie, and here what I understand is everybody needs one important aspect, that is memory. If memory is a little bit here and there are a lot of things which can hamper his progress. It can hamper his productivity. A student can hamper his grades, his percentages, and it can be a great effect in his life of each individual. So while going through all these phases, what I noted is we are really fortunate to have the neurons which are activated, but we are not fortunate to understand what is the role of the neurons. I have dealt with normal students, I have dealt with special needs students, I have dealt with students who have been deprived of vision, deprived of sound, deprived of energies, lots of kinesthetic skills. So how these people cater to their requirements? So the memory, the neurons which are there, so they are not active in such type of students. They are either dead or there are lot of scattered neurons which are not being used or cannot be used. They are dead cells. So how to activate, whatever neurons are being left out, how to make them activate, that's a big challenge for them. We are really fortunate that we have nearly 100 billion neurons. We have a challenge as to, or we have certain things as how to activate them, how to use them, how to make each day more productive, how to learn new things, how to use the things which we have learnt. I'm really a completely practical oriented person, and today I'm going to share practical aspects of life. Now when we say asset or a liability, what do we mean by asset? Asset is something, what a normal layman will say, that what I receive, that is my asset. Liable is what I am liable of giving to the society, which goes from my pockets or which goes from, and it does not come back. Asset is something which, yes, day in and day out, I use my knowledge, I use my learning, I use my senses, I use my skills to achieve those assets. Now memory is one of the cognitive skills which helps you to gain. First is confidence, and when you have confidence, there are a lot of things which you can achieve. So first is confidence. The second is your thinking process. So your thinking starts thinking on different terms when we have to take a particular decision. So we all take decisions day in and day out. For that you have to think. So you need to know the thinking processes. You need to know what is lateral thinking. You need to know divergent thinking. You need to know creative thinking. So what are the thinking processes? Once we are able to achieve this thinking processes, then a concrete decision can be taken. Right or wrong, it does not matter. Taking an action is most important. So what I personally feel is your assets are how you think, how positively think, not only positive thinking, but how positive application. Because application part is very, very important. If you think positive but you don't apply positivity in your life, maybe you're not actually achieving something out of it. So your positive aspects of how you need to go, how you need to activate those cells for your own benefit. Let's take first the asset side. Now as I mentioned we all have 100 billion neurons, just as we all have 24 hours, 7 days a week. A top person or a down person both have 24 hours and 7 days a week. How you apply those, how you use those, how you generate those days, and how you apply for your own importance is the challenge. So now when we say that we have 100 billion neurons, we are not being taught how to use it completely. But let us understand that basic aspects. As an asset, we'll say, okay, now how am I using my neurons? I'm using it in my thinking process. I'm using it to perform certain actions. I'm using it to take certain decisions. I'm using these neurons to apply to certain things. I'm using these neurons to associate with certain things. I have to remember a person. I meet a person, okay. Now we all are meeting right now. We exchange our names. But when we walk out, do we really know each other? Do we really know each other's names? Hardly. So these are sensory memories which are just for the sake of that only lies for 2 or 3 seconds, or maybe 5 to 10 seconds that lasts for, because this is just a formality which we ask the names. So sensory memory is a very short term memory, and if you have to remember, say after 1 hour, so you have to transform that into your short term memory. So it is too short, you have to put into a short term memory, so that at least while going we can say that yes, Mr. So and so, glad to meet you, and let's meet again if we are doing some business, or we are into some venture, or we like each other, or we like to share knowledge with each other, or we want to do business with each other. So again, from short term we need to put in long term. Now students have to keep information in long term memory till the examinations. Professionals have to keep this information till their presentations, till they have to deliver this information to somebody else, or they have to repeatedly deliver this information from time to time. Senior citizens have to keep this information so that they are updated with the information, so they are updated with what is going on in their day-to-day life. The homemakers need to keep this information for their daily activities. When they have to use this information, when they have to reproduce it, that's again what information they require, that has to be kept in the memory. Now these are for a normal. Now what the special needs students needs to do? They have been really deprived, because I have been working with institutions, I have been working with clinical associations, wherein I understand that these are really, they want this information, but they are striving hard. I have some few students who are really striving hard to get this information. They are really very active, they want to learn, but somehow some neurons or some part of their brain is holding them back. So how you need to use the neurons which are active, how the new neurons which are coming in, how to utilize them, how to clubbing, how to associate them, because the thinking and decision making process is very low in such students. So how to activate the live neurons is a real challenge, a real issue for the trainer. Now here every person has his own assets. Now assets require that they need to be used regularly. Language, now if the way we are talking with each other, this is regularly we are communicating with each other. But there are certain languages when we learn, and if nobody is there to talk, now I have learned Deutsch, but today I don't have any people to talk with me in Deutsch. So slowly and slowly the language part gets, the terms, the vocabulary which is being used are faded and are gone. If I get some person, okay, when I communicate with him, again those are live. So these terms, these words, this vocabulary are already stored in the memory. They only have to be retrieved. So the process of retrieval is very important in memory. Because a lot of things, we have a subconscious brain, we have subconscious mind which stores a tiny bit of information. So right from a birth till now, every tiny bit of information is stored. I'll give you an example. When we meet people, say after long days, we see that okay, I have seen this person. So the visual aspects, that has been stored somewhere. Maybe you might have met him 10 years back or 15 years back. So the visual aspects are already been stored, that's why you are able to identify him. The name, if you are stored in the long term memory and have associated, have linked to somebody, or you have something similar to that, then you are able to, yes, oh, he's Mr. Joseph. So that word, that sound is being linked to certain thing which you already know. If you don't know anybody by name Joseph, it's very difficult to get that name. So here the main aspect is your interest in particular things. So memory, the mother of memory is interest. If you are interested in certain things, then only your capability or productivity improves multifold. The second aspect is association. So if you associate certain things, then that can bring you in life, bring you retrieve it from the Google, just as we search something in Google and immediately pops in. So these vocabulary, these words are connected with each other, and when you connect, we have multiple connections. As I told, 100 billion neurons are connected to 10,000 other multiple neurons. So if you multiply this, it is multifold. So the connectivity, we don't have any shortage. It's in completely abundance. We can remember a lot of information. We can store a lot of information. It's only how to retrieve it. That's there are training. There are process for it. There are some tools and techniques which will deliver it. Now I have my client who is in Singapore. She wanted to shift to Malaysia, and the language she was not aware about, the Malay language. So through techniques, through tools, she learned the language. So I have taught her those tools, how to learn a certain language. So there are certain aspects and lot of aspects which can be done with the help of these tools and techniques. Now another part of asset is how you need to use this in a proper way. You need to understand first how the techniques are developed, how the system needs to be used, and then you will come to know that these tools can be used for multiple things. There is no such rule that this tool is only used for certain things. Maybe a tool can be used for, maybe one person uses for certain thing, the other person uses for certain thing. Now I have been training students, I have been training aspirants from the management sector, I have been training doctors, I have been training engineers. So all these techniques are some like similar, but the application differs. Their proportionate differs. Their way of approach differs. So these you need to understand how you need to apply, how it can affect your individual criteria of learning the things, accepting the knowledge, using it and reproducing it. Now recently I was in Egypt. I just last month I came back. There I saw there is a huge requirement of knowledge. The students are hungry for knowledge. They are ready to listen to you. They are ready to come out with different aspects through technology, through internet. They are now accustomed to a lot of information, but they don't know where to go, how to apply, what needs to be done. For certain, if somebody wants to do a PhD, what are the criteria for that? Somebody wants to do a master degree, in what I should do it, how it will benefit me, what are the skill sets in me, how that needs to be, that counseling and guidance they require. So we have a lot of things. So now we, with this asset point in view, we have taken a lot of aspects and combined together, wherein we are now associating the universities in Mumbai to the students with Egypt through technology. So with this what happens, the assets which are there, so assets are being floated at different places where they can be used in a proper way. So these are the resources, these are the tools which can help others where education has not reached, where the technology has not reached, wherein the exact information has not reached. So connectivity is so strong enough, and today's the softwares, the application have come out in such a good way that it is now students need to understand how to use it in a proper way. Okay. Now I would like to ask you, your assets presently are you using or not? Can you tell me that presently are you using your assets?
Not fully.
Not fully. So how you are using it? Maybe somewhat you are using it. So how you are using it? And do you know that it's an asset? This is primary important factor. If you use it as an asset, then it will give you results. If you just use it for the sake of using, maybe it will not deliver the results which you are expecting. So if you think in terms of forget about the word asset, but if you think in terms of application based and usefulness, maybe useful for yourself, useful to the society. Now the knowledge sharing which is happening, when I give a talk, I learn from them also. It's not one way, it's a two-way application. That's why when I'm asking you, I'm also getting from you. So this information I share somewhere else. So the information flows from place to place, and use and application, maybe this information can be used somewhere else. That information which I have got it from different resources, I can use it here. I'll share you a practical example. I was working with MKCL prior to starting BrainRhyme. What I used to do, I was a regional coordinator wherein I was handling nearly 550 centers across Mumbai, Raigad, Ratnagiri and Sindhudurga. So in this 550 centers, they have 550 tools, resources, techniques, knowledgeable people, all learned people from different areas. Now what I used to do, I used to tell them, you give me one application, one software, one information, one resource, which I can share it with others. And whatever I have in my pen drive, you can take it for you. So through this small game, what I achieved 550 different things. That person had only given me one thing, I had given them 549 things in return. And in this sharing process, I have also got 550 different things. So today, I have got those resources which I would have not got it if I would have not shared my information. So today, sharing is one of the important aspects which can be a greatest tool, greatest assets in each one of our life. So I would like you to appeal to share your information as to how you are using these assets, how it can be improved, and then we will talk about what liabilities we are doing if we are not using these assets, what we are liable of. Once we understand this, then the liability part comes. I'll first focus on the asset part. Okay, so let us just have a short overview of what exactly how you are using it. Anybody?
We are using help library. This
Okay.
is an asset because we are exposed to so many different
Fantastic.
books and
Fantastic.
beautiful knowledge.
Right.
So I think that is the biggest
Right.
asset.
So there are a lot of people coming over delivering sessions on different topics. Fantastic. The library. Yes. Anything else? So these knowledge you are using it for your own benefit, for spreading outside the society, right? What else?
And we are together with like-minded people.
Yes. Yes. This is very important aspects. The group which you are in, in corporate we have a say that when you are in a group of 5 like-minded people, just calculate their salary and divide it by 5. If you are in 5 or 6 people, so if 5 people are there, just calculate their salary and divide it by 5, that will be your salary. And this we have tried it a number of times and it comes out to be true. So this is how the like-minded people grow together. Okay, any other way? Right from when we wake up till we sleep, we think logically. We analyze each other. Yeah, please.
I was just thinking,
Yeah.
there are 2 types of things which we require. You know.
Okay.
One is called a basic memory.
Okay.
That is just remembering and recalling. You know.
Yes.
Like I see your face, I should be able to recall your face, including your voice or whatever it may be, say a few days later, or
Okay.
when I meet you or something like that. If I don't,
Okay.
I mean, my recalling or the memory is weak or probably is not there.
Okay.
The second is the logical part of it. Now, when we were young, I mean, we are pretty old guys. When we were young, we were told the guy who could remember was a brilliant chap. Now in this era, it is not so. Any information you need it, it's available at a fingertips. You can just go to Google, get anything. Now the ability to analyze the information which you have,
Yes.
that's a logical analysis of it and coming to a conclusion. That is what you don't need, you have to just say, put it away. Discretion which you have to, that's the basic asset which one requires, to come to a conclusion, decision making, anything of that sort. Getting an information is very easy. I can just go to the library, pick up certain books, get the information. But using that information, like previously the doctor has to remember the thing, various drugs or things like that. Now he can just say, tap the button, can get on the list, and he's just got to select one. He doesn't have to remember. So the era has changed. So what one has to, probably improve right now is a logical analysis. That's the most important. And the basic memory recall. Like I may not be able to remember the telephone number. There are so many guys who can remember the telephone number. Even 10 digits. And about 50 guys. Like I can't remember even one. Even my own listening number also sometimes I forget. So that's the difference. But is it required? I have a mobile, I have a directory there, I can just pick it and get it. So I don't find, I don't have that memory. Previously it used to be difficult, if you don't remember, that sort of a thing. Now it is not there. So what we have to do, increasing the analysis power is one thing. So
Okay.
how to improve our memory is other thing. The two things have to be differentiated
Okay.
and has to be developed.
Okay.
Like after I go, I may not be able to recall your face or name and things like that. So how to improve that, That's why. That may not be used, for logical analysis anytime. I just remember, yes, your name is this, you are this, and you are dealing with this. If I have anything to deal with this subject, I can contact you. That sort of a thing, I just stored it in the memory. But whereas the logical analysis, I got to know whole sort of a thing, how to go about it. Making discretion, like yes, no, I've got to go left side, then I have to go to right, all that thing I have to do it. So that's called brain power. So these two are different ones, according to me. That's it.
Okay.
So development of these two are entirely different. It may be related, both the things are related to the mind or the mind power, but they're entirely different altogether. I may have an excellent memory. I may not have a logical analysis power at all. There are so many people you find. Or most of the people have tremendous memory, but very little logical analysis power.
Is it that now when he mentions telephone numbers, is it that not using his memory for remembering the telephone numbers, slowly that capacity of his decreases?
Yes, that's true. That is true.
Yes.
Suppose he finds himself without a mobile,
Oh, yes.
totally blank.
Totally blank.
Because this
I'll
is
give you
why
my-
I'm relating this. I'm relating this to a person who is blind. We
Okay.
have seen in movies and all, they just look at the what they do is they touch the numbers and then they
Right.
know which is
Right.
where
Right.
and that's how they die
Right.
and all that.
Right.
So that is memory. They are sharpening their memory by touch. Whereas here we have a memory, but we are not ready to use
not
it.
organized to use it. Actually, taking his point further, I would add in this
Please.
way. Okay, one part is the information is readily available, but when you present yourself in business scenario or a personal scenario, what is, unless you have used your memory in, like you said, in a properly organized way, like asset, you will not present yourself. Because knowledge is available. Suppose, like, take the case of your this thing. You are presenting your points to us. Now here, technology, you can do one thing, this 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
you can show
the
the
presentation
slide.
I can show, right?
You can write it,
Yes.
you can read it.
Right.
Then what we will say, it is readily available.
Readily.
Why to use that?
Right.
But as he said, logically connection also will need memory. Because unless you do in a mind map way, like central idea
Right.
and then connection,
Right.
in that,
So that's a tool.
then it's a tool,
Yes.
and in that way, the need is felt in all the field,
Right.
personal as well as professional. So we have to use in that kind of memory as an asset.
So, perfect.
I'll give my own example.
Please, yeah.
Maybe I had a very short memory.
Okay.
Right from the beginning. I'm talking about the younger days.
Okay.
Okay. Now, probably, say chemistry, you just got to remember the formula straight.
Okay.
And I had a difficulty.
Okay.
Month. But logical analysis of anything, maybe 4 pages, You have a theorem or you have a physics, you have to remember, each step by itself, Once I understand that, maybe 4 pages, I could rewrite it, immediately, anytime, there was no problem. But a simple formula, maybe 3 steps, I would forget. And a very torrid time, remembering that. Though it may be a very easy subject, but remembering those things, mugging it out, it was I used to feel so bad about it. Or remembering the number and things like that. But logical analysis, if I do it, once I understand it, that's the first thing. Once I understand it,
Okay.
so it may be 4 pages, various steps and all. I just could rewrite it. Because I have understood it. So I could say probably argue with myself and write and get it. But here I won't.
So you have developed your own system.
No, it was right from the beginning. It was not developed. It was like that itself. So learning a language.
Now,
is very-
have you learned this the
No,
logical
I'm
way?
saying it was right in the beginning.
Right.
Like learning a language was very mean, I was staying in a predominantly say Gujarati area.
Okay.
So even from my house, everybody could speak Gujarati fluently. Not
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I could understand Gujarati fully well, but
Okay.
I could never speak fluently.
Okay.
I don't know why, but that was the thing right from the beginning. Any language learning was very difficult for me. You have to remember the words, you have to remember the meanings, you have to remember the probably the spellings and sort of things. And that was not easy for me. Whereas, I mean, just giving an example, let's say physics or mathematics or anything else, that's all logical, That was very easy for me. I don't know why. It was right from the beginning. Right from my, say, primary education till end, it was like that itself. I never thought, how could I improve and things. I never did that, but that was the thing. Even now also the same thing is there. But I don't find much problem in the sense the tools are available. Like you have a mobile, you have all the numbers there. You don't mind it.
Now, as you mentioned about the tools are available, now let's take a case that you have a mobile, so you are not worried about the phone numbers, okay? But you are now stuck in some area,
Like,
and in that time your mobile is switched off.
No.
The power has gone,
I'm saying about 15 years back, that was a problem.
right?
I had a problem, I used to have a problem, tremendous problem. I mean, you have to carry a diary with you, basic diary or the big diary with the telephone numbers and all. I had a problem. I could remember hardly any numbers. Now that's not a problem. I mean, you don't feel it. But that time I used to feel it. If I'm going out for say a day or something, I used to carry hold of the diary, telephone
Okay,
diary.
okay.
So that's the thing.
No, maybe it can also happen that one day you forget the diary.
Yeah.
Then what?
I'm in a problem. I was in a problem.
So now you need to understand first, is this a problem and is there a solution for
The
it?
problem was there, but how to do it?
Yes.
See,
There are
nobody-
solutions for that.
Yeah, so that is what
There
I'm
are
saying.
tools, there are systems.
Yeah,
So once you know the systems, once you know the tools, then this will be just like a piece of cake. As we now just recall that when we had the landline numbers.
I was trying to differentiate two things, Like you have the tools right now to make even the calculations.
True.
But that is not important. See, use the calculation there. You should have the basic knowledge of how to do the calculation, get to the answer. That's very important, which people don't use it. Like unless you know how 4 plus 3 is 7, right? Just do it. 4 plus 3. I just do it on a calculator. Then you have basically lost your touch on the, practical, logical analysis, which you should avoid.
True.
But the memory things which are stored, you just can pick up like computer picks it up. It doesn't know it. It just picks up the memory, use it for logical analysis, does the calculation, all those things,
So they already been stored into it, already been programmed. So human beings have programmed it.
I have also stored memory, but I can't recall it. That's the problem.
So that's the challenge for every one of us.
Yeah.
So here the important aspect is my memory short? Am I poor? Am I weak or am I good? So we all are fixed up into these tools which we have only created. And as you mentioned, I am weak. So this weak term,
Like some people I meet who recognizes me fully, and we have made such and such, I just can't recognize him. And you feel
no. When you
awkward.
say that you are weak, have
Yes,
you been?
you feel awkward.
Do you have a certified? Have you tested?
Yeah, I'm just seeing. There's some
So
places.
there is no test as such, which says that there is no written document which we have tested you, we have proved, and you are weak into all this.
I don't say.
Because
6
there-
months, after a lapse of 6 months, I forget. I don't know. How much time it takes.
Right.
But there are certain things, memory it just fades away.
True.
Whereas the other fellow right in front, he can remember you. Then you feel.
I'll tell you the practical way why it fades on. See, as I told you, there are 100 billion neurons. Every day, 10,000 or more neurons die. The reason behind it, they are not being used. The thing is, use it or lose it, just like 24 hours. Today's 24, I cannot store that 1 hour and use it tomorrow. Similarly, this 10,000 neurons die, and these 10,000, if some certain information they carry, and if you are not attached that information, now as you mentioned that okay, we have spoken with each other, you know my name, but tomorrow you may not recall my name, so you are not attached, it's not interest to you, or maybe you don't feel that to remember this name. Today I have met, okay, I am not going to meet this person again and again. There are tomorrow somebody else lecture is there, or tomorrow you have certain different activities. Tomorrow you have your own work. Tomorrow you have your own priorities. So this was not so important. So along with that neurons, that my name which was with that neuron, it has gone and it does not pass on that information which is coming back.
I forget. When the other guy next to me, he remembers it.
Yes.
I forget in a day, he remembers it for a year.
So
why is that so?
So that's what, when the neuron expires, it passes on the information to new neuron which is coming out. Now, as you mentioned that you or maybe somebody else have forgotten that information. So that information which has not been connected or maybe have not been interest to you have elapsed, have gone, and it has not passed on that information to new neuron. Because every day 10,000 neurons die, 10,000 new fresh neurons come in. So the fresh neurons have not received the information, and as you mentioned, the other guy remembers everything. So when his neurons expire, they connect with the fresh neurons, they pass on the information to him, and then they expire. This again comes back over here, and they have the information because they find it important or necessary to store that information with them. So you need to decide which information I want. Now, what is your main interest? Movies, books,
Everything.
shares?
Books, shares of an adequate day.
Yes. So what interests you, that information is stored, and this information will never go.
Now take about the shares.
Okay.
I do it online.
Okay.
And the people you say, I mean, those are the brokers and things, they might remember daily the things.
So that's a daily activity.
Even I do it daily activity, but I just can't remember. I remember.
But is that your priority?
Whatever it is a priority.
That makes a difference.
I do it daily. I do it online.
No, you do it daily. But is based on that? Is there your bread and butter? Maybe, see, based on what priority it is. No, see, why I am asking you these questions. Is that your main priority? Without that, are you going to survive or okay with that?
I don't know.
So that makes a difference. See, now when today I am completely 24/7 into memory. So whatever new things come into memory or research activities or what are new students, I put myself completely into it. Maybe shares. I also like shares, but it's not my priority. Maybe I keep the information. You might have given me some tips.
It is a born gift. I'm asking a simple thing. Is a born gift a
Yeah, for some people it's a born gift. For some people, there are exclusivities, but not for all. So it can be trained. When we say that somebody is poor, somebody is excellent, there is no such criteria. There is only two things, that is either it's a trained memory or it's untrained. We have not been taught how to use it. In school, we have not been taught how to study. If there is a long answer, if there are 10 points, how to study, has anybody taught you? They have just told that you have to study this chapter, it will come for 20 marks, and if you get 14 marks, you pass. That's the only information which has been given. Nobody has told me how to learn, how to understand the concepts, how to retrieve, how to store it and how to retrieve it.
The schools teach you, mostly rote, just memorize.
Yeah, that's a one type of memory.
Just memorize it, things like that. They don't teach you, a technical or a scientific way to learn a thing. Even
So
now,
there are such things.
Very few.
Yes. Now already been started in schools.
Absolutely. Even people just do not know the basics why they are doing it. But they know the answers. What is what they know.
So that inclination made me to start with brain right.
I'll give you an example of my time, See, mathematics, we used to have a geometry, okay? We used to have a theorem. A theorem is a basic theorem, you just got to prove it. So everybody knows the theorem is going to come. Now my teacher was a very smart teacher, a very good teacher, excellent teacher.
Okay.
For that, I didn't go to a very good school or something like that.
Okay.
But that interest in physics and maths came because of the teachers which we had.
Okay.
Tremendous teachers.
Great.
Now what he used to do, now suppose the triangle is to be ABC in the book,
Okay.
and say XYZ, he would give the same name, Instead of A, he said CBA. Here ZY. 90% of people gone. Absolutely, because they have done routing, just memorized it. ABC, that AB should be like this and BC should be like this. The moment that thing changed, they are gone.
Right.
So you used to do small tricks, You used to use the same, things which are used in the books and all.
Okay.
But just, put it this way. So you would find out, who has really understood and who have not understood the subject.
Right.
So 85% of the people just would go out because of this.
Okay.
Well, that's the way he taught them, look.
So these are some of the techniques.
See,
So
but in spite of the fact, I mean, not that the standard improved, but people really wanted to learn, they knew how to learn.
Right, right.
Others, I mean, are now also doing the same thing. Right? I mean, if you are trying to see, and that helps, methods, like you are saying, various classes. I mean, you must have read IIT classes, What do they do? Do they teach really good? I mean, hardly anything, according to me. What they do, make this thing a student, right, used to the exams. They would give them the papers every day, for this thing 6 months. Same time, I mean, they would appear for the IIT entrance. So 2 hours, 1 hour, the same amount of this thing. Various ways, I mean, they'll mix up and things like that do it. So they get used to the way to do the things.
Yeah. So they're molded into such fashion.
Fashion. Not that, I mean, they have become intelligent. So it is a actual this thing process and done it for this thing 2 years continuously. They say, I mean, kudhar Jaipur ne kidhar tha? Oh, the Rajasthan mein some
Kota.
Kota model and order. That is the way they started it. Now people have started.
That is exactly the same thing. They are training their neurons, no?
I don't know. Is it
That's
called?
what they are doing. In a
Is it
particular
neuron?
way.
I don't know.
They have a certain
really make them brilliant.
set process.
I'm trying to tell you, they don't become brilliant. They don't really become, They don't
No. They have a set process which has been tried and tested for several years, and they're getting the results. So once a result has been set, once they have laid down the process and they have got the result, they are applying it, just copy paste it. And maybe this can.
I'll give you another. I'll go further.
No. Let's take this case a little bit ahead. Are all the students getting benefit from this?
Yes, and almost.
No. Are all the students coming in the top 100?
I'm not top 100. See, that becomes again.
See again that's where the learning
But
style
the guy
differs.
who had never a chance of getting through, because of this method, he gets through. Now, even if you see, I mean, you must have that comes on the net. Even if you see, I mean, there's an unemployment and things like that. Say, for example, MBA student. There are so many MBA institutes are there. Now you go to the industry. Like I've gone to a couple of seminars.
Okay.
There is a shortage of the people in the industry. Tremendous shortage of the people.
True.
So there is no matching. The matching in the sense, you don't get the right student what you require. You go even to the bank.
True.
And they said, I mean, if we hire, right, training them, come to the level which we wanted, it's a huge expenditure.
True.
So they don't get the right person. Even if it's an MBA, they don't get the right person at the time because they have not studied to that level. They've got an MBA. That's the problem, gap of the requirement of the industry and a man who has come to that particular level which he thinks that he can go to the industry. There are very few.
Here again the skill sets. You are perfectly right. It's the skill sets which are required. So there's a vast, tremendous knowledge and learnings which are required, which the MBA or maybe engineers are not aware about it. They have learned what they have been taught. Yes. So here again, as the brain also has two parts, the logical and the creativity part. So you need to understand what logic can do and what creativity can do. So if you understand both these aspects and you know the tools how to implement and how to use the creative side, then it can benefit you. So now the questions, as you rightly mentioned that during the interviews, the questions which are being asked that may be logical, but they are expecting a creative answer. Or there are creative questions which they expect a logical answer. So now if the person doesn't know the difference between logic and creativity, it makes a huge impact. So you need to understand, you need to know, you need to learn what are the different aspects, how system works, what is required for the future generation, what is required for that particular job. Suppose I am going for marketing, what is required, what are the expectations from me, what I need to know, how I need to answer them, what are the logical way I need to approach them, how creative way I need to approach them. So that needs to be learnt.
Yeah, you can argue or even the interview, right, whatever it may be, they are not the foolproof, because you never know. These guys know, I mean, just by asking few questions, they can select the right candidate. It doesn't happen.
But at least they can understand how it can impact their future growth. Because nowadays the interviews they have screened in different levels. So screening level helps them to understand whether this person is capable to understand the logic, understand the creative part aspects of our company and how it can make it grow.
You see the company which really grew,
Because I had been working in corporate for last 20 years.
You see Infosys, the company, I mean, Narayan Murthy I'm talking about. He first realized this. The first thing he did, right, learning center there. The guy who used to get employed, he used to there for about 1.5 years, just in the learning mode, He used to get a pay, whatever it was. But he was in the learning mode, and coming to the standard, after that he was absorbed. That's the way he did it right from the beginning. That's why they grow, something, like this, straight. Which he realized right in the beginning.
So these are certain policies which a company first need to decide.
That is
How they need to grow, what they want to achieve. So short term goals and long term goals.
Yeah, so he knew what
So similarly here our memory also short term and long term. So in short term what I need to remember, and in a long term what I need to store. Now for example, I give my example. I used to take MBA students. I used to teach for IB schools. So there the laws, different management laws, their case studies, their examples, this with the law of management, I need to reproduce it at that time. Maybe I can take a presentation, and maybe at that time, maybe the lights might have gone, my computer may not be working, it's electronic equipment. So here, if I have a technique to store this information, I'm not completely dependent on certain things. Today anything can happen, the lights can go. Yes, if I had to have a presentation, and if I am not aware about what this presentation is, I'll not be able to deliver. So here you need to understand that what assets which you have, if you are able to learn and use it in a proper way, then you are not liable to face difficulties. This is what the crunch of which I wanted to.
There will be two different ways of this thing. How to remember the basic thing.
Yes, yes.
And second thing is analysis. These are not two connected ones. Okay. Now how to do both these things separately? A body or the mind or a person does it.
I think it is connected. Unless you analyze, how can you remember?
I don't know.
See, analysis is a logical part which we do it.
Remembering a
But
number.
always, what is association?
Yes.
Association is analysis.
Yes.
No, I'm
So
not
these are all interconnected. We cannot segregate this in different views.
No. See, recalling a particular thing, you convert it into an analysis and then remembering it, or just
Maybe for certain things. Maybe for certain, not for all.
There, like say, certain things you just remember a color or 2-3 things and remember, that sort of a way. But everything, you do it like that, or you should be able to recall.
No, this is one way.
Yeah.
Say for newspaper, I want to remember the things. So logically, if I don't want to remember this in a sequence, it can be scattered. So once I use the technique to scrutinize the complete newspaper, whenever required, I can just flow on the information. It may not be in a sequence. It may be in an unsequential way. So again, for students, points they have to say your chemistry theorem. You have to give in a process. It has to go in steps. So there a logical part comes into picture. That after step 1, the step 2. After step 2, step 3. I cannot jump from step 1 to step 3. I cannot eliminate the step 2. So here the logical part comes into picture, and then creative way how I can remember. Now we all remember movies. If I just tell you a movie which you have seen, you'll remember in a sequence. If I tell you a scene from a movie and I tell you, is it scene before this or after that? You'll be able to immediately tell, no, this scene was before that. And then after this song was there. Now why you are able to get this? Because logical and creative both parts are involved.
Related to something, associated. Yes. That is the way.
So logic also you are playing a role. You are analyzing. No, ये तो पहले आया था. This came afterwards. So this logical brain has come into picture. And your creative side, you are visualizing the scenes. So this is the visual aspect.
Question or the things which you ask was a logical sequence which you ask. I'm just saying a basic memory. Basic memory is just remembering it. There's nothing like an analysis. Remembering your face or a name.
Okay. Let's stick to this. Remembering the names and face.
Remembering a name and recalling it.
Right.
Maybe retaining it for 6 months or so. 6 months.
It depends.
I'm just giving an example. Say 6 months.
Now Mr. Munikekar, I've been regularly we are in touch. So I need not ask him what's your name.
So how does, right? Say he has it for say 6 months and I have it only for a week. So how do I develop it from week to a 6 months?
Great. That's a fantastic question. That's a fantastic question.
That's what he is coming to. Yeah.
I'm coming to the same question.
Right.
Basic. I said no logic, nothing, Just the basic memory. If I remember a face or a number or anything, or a certain street which I have seen, I should be able to recall name or anything of that kind.
Right.
So how to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the question. Now, let's say you have to remember my name. So you need to know Sushant. Have you heard about this name before?
Must have, yes.
No. Is it? No, really? If maybe your friend's name,
Yes.
maybe your colleague's name.
Yes, yes.
So that face you are able to recall?
No.
No. Okay. Forget it. Forget it. May not be. It can be possible. Now, do you know the meaning of Sushant?
Yes.
Okay. So now meaning with Sushant, and what is my profession? My profession is connected with the brain, the neurons and memory. So if you connect this, if you hold this information together, then there are chances that you will remember me whenever you see my face. This is one way. See, there are multiple ways. Now what's your good name?
Shanbag.
Shanbag. Okay. So I just shake your hands, Mr. Shanbag. So now, this is a sensory memory which I have stored. Now, if we go on talking, this Shanbag part, which is completely forgotten, and we will be discussing on shares, discussing on memory, discussing on different aspects. Now, I have to remember this name also. So here, the rote memory which is there, this also plays an important point, because my neurons are not used to this name. I have nobody. Let us suppose that I don't know anybody from the up till now, Shanbag. I have not heard this name. This is the first time I am hearing this name. So what I'll say, okay, Mr. Shanbag, what are you doing? Okay, Mr. Shanbag, where do you live? So why I am repeating this name? To make it store in my memory. So this will help me in my short-term memory to restore this information. So while going also, yes, Mr. Shanbag, it was very nice meeting you. Let's meet after some time and let's discuss.
You have this thing, we call used it to store it this way.
Yes.
For other fellow, it can.
No, this is one way. This is one way.
Everybody has it like that. One guy this thing can do it just by hello, Mr. Shanbag. He remembers Shanbag forever.
Yes, that is short-term memory. Not tomorrow. Not this will be short-term memory. This will not be for a long-term memory. Unless and until you are interested to me, unless and until we do business, unless and until I really want to be associated with you. Maybe in terms of sharing information, maybe in terms of meeting each other, maybe in terms of anything. So this I'll recall it, yes, Mr. Shanbag, that day I met him and he gave me this information, which was very attractive to me. So there should be something in common between both of us that will help me to connect with you. Now if suppose there is no connection at all, you have not provided me information, we have just met and we have gone. So tomorrow there is no point why I should remember your name. So there should be certain point, that can be anything, that can be anything. It's not related to business or related to association. There should be something which is in common with both of us. Maybe you like shares, I like shares. So there is something common. Okay. Then you give me some information which is far important for me. So maybe tomorrow when I say, okay, this information I got it from Mr. Shanbag. So unless until I connect, tomorrow it can happen also. I got this information, I don't know. Somebody gave me this information. I have not connected only. So when I am not connected, how can I remember it? When I say I have forgotten, if I am not connected only, how can I forget? If I am not linked only, how can I say, "Arey, ye link toot gaya"? I am not linked only, no? Then I cannot say link toot gaya. When you say you have forgotten, you are not in the first step. You are not linked to it. Then how can you say you have forgotten?
Emotion, it will be permanent.
Yes. And when we meet day in and tomorrow, I need not remember. I instantly, hello, Mr. Shanbag, how are you? I need not recall or now whenever I see him, Mr. Mysorekar, how are you?
But,
So instantly it
at
comes.
times, like just like introduction, a person is talking to us, introducing himself or herself, and we are thinking, oh, I have to go there, I'm getting late. So we are listening only half.
We are hearing,
At
not
the
listening.
time when we really
Because
forget.
interest is not there.
You are hearing, not listening.
Huh.
You are just hearing for the sake of hearing. Something is coming
When
up.
the person is being introduced, you are thinking. of
So
something
consciously
else
you are
at the
not
back of
thinking.
your mind.
Now subconsciously we are talking, yeah, okay, business is going on, okay, subconsciously in corporate we just talk and leave. So now consciously I have never thought about you. So how can I remember you? So I have to have a conscious effort.
What you say is correct. I'm not saying it. What you're saying is absolutely correct. Once you are 100%, there is a chance of remembering is there. But at the same time, there is a chance of forgetting is also. For example, I'll just give an example. Like I may be using a password practically day in and day out, for
Okay, okay.
net banking or for even shares and things like that. Minute I said, okay. I have a ready, book there, just next to computer, where I have all the passwords recorded.
Okay,
Say 90% of the time I remember.
okay.
In between I just forget, I just go blank. Or say it is 90134, just for argument.
Okay.
Then I will say, oh, it is 9410, 9310. That confusion comes.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm using it day in and day out. I'm observing daily. Maybe in a week, 10, 15 times. Say net banking or anything. But I forget, password or the...
Okay. Now here there are two aspects I tell you. The first is, you have already given a command to your brain. I need not worry, it's written in the book.
No, I don't. It is not so. I don't see that,
No, but unconscious, subconsciously you have given a command.
I would know, because you have to keep it.
You know it, na? Subconsciously you have already given a command.
Initially only.
Subconsciously, consciously not. Subconsciously at the back of the brain you know, it's written, I need not worry. The second aspect is, when you, as you said, 90% of time you are using it, okay?
Without even looking at it.
Sometimes you could become blank, completely blank. Now in blank,
Many a times. I'm not.
okay, fair enough. We all can become blank. It's a part and parcel. So here what has happened? So your neurons are at a standstill. If you consciously give a command that no, I have to remember. Arey, roz to main use karta hu. What is that? 90. Yes, what is that? So now what is happening? The 3, 4, 7, whatever numbers are come, they are coming together. It may take time. It may take 5 minutes. It can take half an hour. It can take 1 hour also. But after 1 hour, when all of them will come, you need not again refer to your book also.
It's true, but when you see, the thing is, getting the information, recalling the information at the time you want it is most important. If I just say, stop it there and do something or read something or see TV, then again this thing, look at it, I don't know what number is,
See, it many times happens that I meet you and they say, yes, I know this person, I have met him so many times. So that name is at tip of the tongue. So then what happens? Maybe instantly in 2 minutes also, yes, Mr. Shanbag. Or it may take 15 minutes, it may take a day also. So here what is happening? The connectivity is somewhere loosened and it becomes, consciously you are trying to make it. So that is how it connects together. I take you a practical aspect. Do it today itself and you will get the benefits. Maybe some information which you feel that nahi baba, ye to apne ko aayega hi nahi, or you might have read some book and you are not able to understand it. Before going to sleep, just read it once and give a command to your brain ki let me understand this baba, and go for a sleep. And next morning you get up and see the difference. Now what is happening in these 8 hours? Consciously you have gone for sleep, but your subconscious mind is working on your command. And he is reading those information for you. And when you get up in the morning, you say, it has become so easy for me. Why? Because 8 hours you have again repeatedly, your subconscious mind is working on it. So 10 times he might have read it. And when you are reading 11th time, you say, it becomes very easy. Because this is a tried and tested method. Try it today itself, you will get the benefit. So what is happening? Now what is happening? Your subconscious mind is working for you. So you need to know who is working for me, who are my assets. So this, if you know, it will help you to be more productive, to be more energetic, to be more informative, more knowledgeable and condensed, and you have a complete set of information with you and you can pass it on whenever it is required. Hope I have now cleared with your doubts. Great. Any other questions which you feel? Okay. With this I end my session. Thank you very much.